Hey guys, it's Jaren. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be unboxing and reviewing another Rakk Gears device. So this is the Rakk Pirah wireless mechanical keyboard. So of course, as usual, we're gonna be unboxing the Rakk Pirah. So first of all, this keyboard has 3 different colors. It has white, black, and pink. And they now offer a bare bone version. They also have a large variety of switch options, which I will put up here. As you may have seen in the unboxing, I bought the Gateron yellow milky switches to give that thunk sound, and as the keyboard is already pre-lubed, so for people who are still new or afraid of modding their keyboard like me, this is one of the best options for you. This is a 65% layout keyboard that has 68 keys with a volume knob. On the board itself, it's fully hot swappable with 5 pins, as it is a Kale hot swap socket. So this keyboard is considered as wireless, but it only supports Bluetooth 5.0 and wired. So this is important to note. There is no receiver, so it's just Bluetooth 5.0 as its wireless feature and wired, but for Bluetooth it supports a multi-device connection, which I'll get into detail later. As a wireless keyboard, of course, it comes with a 2000 milliamp hour LiPo battery. For using it wired, it includes a 1.8 meter connector. It includes a 1.8 meter Type-C connector, which is a good quality connector in my opinion, but I still went with a coiled connector instead. It also has a 1000 Hz ultra polling rate. For whatever the ultra mean, I don't really know, so let me know, I guess. Let's also add the NKRO. Let's add the NKRO in that, since I'm not really that familiar with those terms on keyboards, unfortunately. So yeah, still learning. So onto the keyboard itself. It weighs at around 584 grams, and the outer material is a pretty solid plastic that feels premium. The size of the keyboard is 13 by 4.5 by 1.7 inches. So there are 2 levels, technically 3. So it's 1.3 on its lowest, 1.5 on the first level, and 1.7 inches on its highest stand. It comes with PBT double shot keycaps that has all the shortcuts and function keys. Only comment on the keycaps is the texture is just a regular plastic keycaps. I personally would have preferred the keycaps on the Rakk Illis, which is like an eggshell type of texture, but still the keycaps that are included with the Rakk Pirah is still good and kind of premium still. I do want to comment on the brightness on the RGB lights, which is pretty important for some people. So if you will choose the Gateron yellow switches like I did, just to let you guys know, the RGB lights is a little bit diffused. So Here's the keyboard basically with the switches, and here I thought it was maybe because of the keycaps, but after changing the keycaps to putting keycaps, I found that it is the switches. I changed some switches with Automo Reds just to check, and yeah, as you can see, it is because of the Gateron yellow switches, which kinda diffuses the RGB lights on the keyboard. So if you're familiar with using any Rakk devices, it does come with the Rakk Fine Tuner software, which I will link below for you to download. So in the Fine Tuner, it's pretty straightforward with its customizability functions on the keys, and no, the knob. The knob is not customizable. I know, I tried, it isn't. But any other key is customizable. So yeah, there is also a lighting tab to control the keyboard RGB, a gaming mode for when you're gaming of course, and a macro tab, which I never really used personally. So let's now proceed with my experience with using the keyboard for about 2 weeks now. I actually enjoyed using the keyboard basically, mostly when it is wired though. Using it wired, I never really had problems using it, and I quite enjoyed it honestly. Of course, you'd want to use your keyboard, especially when gaming or when editing and even casual using it. So wired, no problems there. Wireless though, let's talk about that. So let's start with just pairing the keyboard to a device. For example, of course, my computer, which has a Bluetooth dongle. So pairing is fine, it's quick in connecting through Bluetooth, but it is advertised to have a multi-device pairing capability. That's where I experienced some problems personally. So when transitioning to another device, it doesn't really just jump to another device. It just pairs again, which is kind of a hassle. There is also a noticeable delay when not using the keyboard for about 30 seconds or so. It would only respond once you click any key twice. So yeah. Also, I thought this was another negative thing of the keyboard for using it wireless, but for the first time I was using it wireless, the knob was not working. So I just assumed that it doesn't work whenever the keyboard is in wireless mode. But after a few turns and taps on the knob, it surprisingly worked. But with using it wirelessly, it isn't all bad. It did last me about a whole week of using it wirelessly without using it wired, so that's a positive thing. But since I did have those problems using it wirelessly, it was better for me to use it wired, which I actually prefer in the first place. So its wireless feature is just a feature for me now. It is also the first time that I have used a 65% layout keyboard, which is close to a 60% layout, but it has a separate arrow keys, the side buttons, and of course the knob. I actually enjoyed using the knob or when turning my music up or down, and pressing it to mute is a really cool feature to have. It was also my first time using Gateron yellow switches, and here is how it sounds like. So I am quite impressed with the sound out of the box. I do recommend this keyboard to those that don't really want to mod keyboards but really want that thunk sound, the keyboard overall is really good. The wireless feature though, maybe take into consideration what I have said about the wireless problems that I had. But for its price right now, which is around 2,500 pesos, I'd say it's reasonable at that price point. Do consider checking out other options at that price range. Some people actually debate on which is better, the Rakk Pirah or the Rakk Pro. If you guys wanna check that out, comment down below and I will do a comparison video for you. For the Rakk Pirah, it is great whether you are a casual user, productivity, editor, gamer. This passes all of that for me. And if I were to rate this out of 10, it'd be 8 out of 10. The only negative would be using it wirelessly. Only problem that I had actually was the Bluetooth feature. I do hope they release a version with 3 modes instead, a wired, a Bluetooth, and a receiver, which would have been better in my opinion. So yeah, this has been the Rakk Pirah wireless gaming keyboard. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below on any questions you have. I am still using the Rakk Pirah daily, and if you do want to see the comparison video versus on the Rakk Pirah versus the Rakk Pro, let me know on the comments down below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Ciao.